It's all good even if the day is not great, cause I'ma bounce back, I ain't gonna just stand and wait. It's all good even if the shit didn't go my way, cause I'ma get that, I don't care what it's gonna take. It's all good even if the day is not great.
Alright, Jimmy, hit it.
Hey man, don't check me, check your pH balance. Welcome back to the Blueprint Podcast. My name is Jimmy Teflon. Today I'm joined by my co-host JK the Visual. Woo! Stu J the Clam is not here. He woke up like 30 seconds ago, so he'll be here soon. He might show up randomly in the episode.
Yeah, so, for all we know, he might not even show up.
But today we have a very special guest. We've had him on here before.
Returning guest.
I got a lot of love for this guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know me, if you know my story, you know that he was one of the first cats that ever, like, really fucked with me, ever worked with me and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I just got a lot of love for him in general. He just dropped a new EP. He's got a fucking... He just dropped a new single with a very fucking prominent artist that was just signed to Eminem, Westside Boogie. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only ZP Ratik.
What's good, y'all? How y'all doing?
Woo, woo, woo.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for coming back.
Great seeing you guys
for a second time, dude. I mean, we usually recurring guests, like, you know, we like to have them back
Bozzy's
on.
really like the only one that's been recurring, really.
Yeah, and now ZP is like the second person behind him.
Up, man.
Yeah.
So I want to get into, you know, the EP that you just dropped, because at the time of recording this, that EP came out like 2 days ago?
Yeah, like literally just like 2 days ago.
Yeah. So what's the reception like that been so far?
People are liking it. You know, it was one of the only projects where like I like really worked on it by myself. Like I had you work on the cover. I didn't even send you anything for it. I just really wanted to like do something where it was only me making the calls on it and just putting it out 100% with whatever I wanted to go with it. And I'm really happy with how it turned out, and people are being like really receptive to it. So I'm fucking with that right now.
So can we see more EPs from you this year?
Yeah, that's the goal. It's either going to be like 5 to 7 track EPs or just singles from this point on. I don't feel like putting out a big body of work until like the time's right.
Yeah,
but
and we just had a long conversation about EPs not too long ago, and we could get into that later, but real fast, you just showed us a preview of that record with Westside Boogie. Let's go into that,
which
man.
was fire, by the way.
Great record, by the way.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so at the time of this video recording, if you haven't listened to it yet, you should.
Yeah.
But yeah, walk us through that. Yeah. Walk us through it, ZP. Like how did it all come about?
So what's wild about the Westside Boogie track is that like Boogie is, I've been like a huge fan of him since like 2018. Like when he first got signed to M, he was doing a lot of like freestyles, and like I became a huge fan off a lot of the freestyles.
That's when he dropped Rainy Days, right?
Just a little before that, he did Self Destruction was one of the first songs I heard from him, and then he did like this Fade freestyle that made me like a hardcore fan. So I've just been like a diehard fan of this dude. Like I even went and saw him with my homies in San Francisco a couple years back and stuff. So it's been somebody who's been in my regular rotation. And I just shot in the dark, was like, I'm gonna hit him up. He had just done his Tiny Desk, and I like DM'd him and was just like, yo, like I fuck with this. I fuck with like that you got on Tiny Desk, and like got to do that because I know it was like one of his goals that he was hyped about. So I just was like really hyped for him, and I just was like, I got this new song coming out. You should check it out. And like 2 weeks later, like it was a shot in the dark. You never think somebody like that's gonna respond to you.
Yeah,
right?
you hit up your favorite. You know how many times I hit up Schoolboy Q?
Yeah, right.
And he's never responded. No response.
Well, and the thing is, I've hit up Boogie before. It was really funny because if you like scroll through the conversation, there's years of just like flame emojis and all this. Like, was
you sitting there like unsending everything?
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit.
Oh shit, he's actually seeing this right now.
Yeah, he'll actually see all this. Yeah.
You get scared for sending just a flame emoji because you're like, is he gonna respond to me? Is he gonna say something to me?
Right.
Yeah.
So like, now he is. Because now Boogie fucks with you.
Yeah, I guess, man. It's like
so it came from a fucking just a random ass DM.
Yeah, and like 2 weeks later, he hit me up and like he responded to what I had sent him, because I told him like I was just like, look, like what I do, a lot of my like more personal stuff is because of what he does, and so like I open up like that, and so I even told him, I was like, that's the reason like I'm like opening up and being even more personal with my music is because what I see him doing with it. And one of the first things he responds back was that he thought it was hard and he wanted to work on some shit. And I was like, I was like opening at my work, and I was like, now I can't focus on shit. Like
magic,
I gotta
baby.
get in the studio right fucking now.
magic.
You're like literally like on your nerves at work, bro. You're just like, oh my
Dude,
god,
I
need to get
couldn't
the fuck out of
focus.
here.
I literally I went to my lunch and for an hour was working on music, and then went home, went back to work, came back, and then worked until like 3 a.m. on
I would have
music.
just left that day. I would have been like, y'all can
bro.
see me tomorrow.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, you know, like when somebody like you idolize or like look up to like responds to you, like immediately you're thinking like, I need to hit this now, because I'm like, if I don't, the opportunity is gonna just miss.
Exactly. Like I was like, I gotta get something now. I gotta like put something together, and I gotta like, I had a bunch of songs I was sitting on, but I didn't want like, I didn't make those songs.
You didn't want
with
just like any song.
I didn't have like the intentions of putting Boogie on any of these songs, and so when I made this song and wanted to send it to him, I wanted it to be something that I felt like I would resonate with the same way he would resonate with it, and what he put down on that verse was like one of my favorite verses he's done. So like I'm forever grateful for what he like did.
So you just had one of your heroes jump on one of your songs. How's that feel?
Fucking crazy. Yeah. I was still trying, like everybody
You be
was
pinching
like
yourself every now and then, huh? Trying to make sure.
yeah, like I just was like,
it's not a dream.
Because it's kind of one of those things where like if I ever like he was one of those artists where it was like I would have to get that on like my like bucket list to collab with if I ever actually had like a platform to do that. I never thought that would be an opportunity to do as like.
It's right now.
Yeah, right now. Like that was nothing anywhere near potential for
You're
me.
like, that's like far future shit.
Yeah, like you never would think that you'd be able to jump on a track, or one of your favorite artists would jump on a track.
Well,
with
all
you.
I'm saying is you better start making records for your other bucket list artists.
I have them ready.
have them ready. So you're not put in this situation again.
Bro.
Yeah, exactly.
For
Because you
real.
never know. M's probably going to see that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because
Bro, I don't even know what I would do if all of a sudden I
if Eminem hit him
if
up,
Eminem was like, "Yo, let's do a track," I'd be like,
he'd kill himself immediately.
"Yeah," like I
He'd
just be like,
ready
"I don't
to
like the
kill
pressure.
himself.
I just don't want the pressure." It's all right. Like,
He's gonna send out like a whole bunch of stories on Instagram. Like, I can't do this.
Now
yeah,
you got to be careful
too
about
much
the shit.
pressure.
Now
the
you
moment
gotta,
y'all see me quit is the moment Eminem asked me for a fucking song.
so he's not even.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
No, he's not even gonna tell you like why he quit. He's like, I'm just done. It's like, you know the reason why.
We good.
I'm
We
done.
got there. We got there. Like,
now you got to be careful with what you say about him.
I've always fucked with them. M has always been a top 5 for me, so no disrespect ever there.
No, yeah, Eminem is cold, man. I mean, like I wasn't really too much of a huge fan of him when I was growing up, but that's just because I didn't like the subject matter. You know what I mean? I don't think it had anything to do with his music. You know what I mean? I just didn't like the subject matter.
It just wasn't in your forte.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Everybody's got their thing.
I was coming up on like E40 and shit. You know what I mean? That was the shit I like to listen to.
Just straight up.
And then Eminem was just like a
Area.
complete left turn, and I was just like, okay.
It's like, you know, maybe I'll take a little glance at it.
He's got some hit records, man. I mean, like I fuck
does.
with he's got this one song off of Relapse that I like, Cold Wind Blows. No, that's Recovery.
I
That's
do love Cold Wind Blows. though.
Cold Wind
good.
Blows is hard. Yeah, yeah, and then
What a way to start that project. Too.
I know,
He was like,
right?
"I'm gonna let you know I'm here."
But I think
just
my
off the bat, just swing for the fence.
My
bro.
favorite song by him though is "Beautiful," and that's on Relapse. That's on Relapse.
That one for sure.
You know what's crazy about this song? That shit's hitting more now than it ever did.
Yeah, see,
because we're like actual like artists and shit, so we can actually like relate to the shit that he's talking about in this song.
For 100%.
Oh yeah, so like I was listening to. I got fucked up. I was drunk the other day, and I was like, let me slap some of the shit I used to listen to. And "Beautiful" came on, and he was just like spitting this verse. That was exactly what I was going through at that moment.
Yep.
And then like the second verse, he was talking about his childhood, which like. I related to a lot of shit he was saying about his childhood. I was like, why is this song hit so hard? Like, I cried a little bit.
As you're crying and you're drinking some more, you're just like, oh, shit.
And that's why, like, I felt like I resonated so much with M, as well as just like the personality that he brings on it. It's one thing to be like lyrical in bars and be able to bring that. It's another thing to be able to be like, I'm going to open up. I'm going to really talk about something on
I think that's the real problem with a lot of Eminem clones. You know what I mean? Because when it comes to white rappers, you know what I mean? It's like,
As I'm looking at white rappers right now.
And we breaking the boundaries. We're not the stereotype.
I'm far from Eminem, all right? Like, keep me away from that. You know what I mean? But when you look at like the YouTube rappers and shit, like fucking Mac Lethal or Gone, right? You know what I'm saying? Like they're always hitting that lyrical, miracle, spiritual shit. They're just rhyming to rhyme. None of it's really cohesive enough, and they're just gonna say like random shit and it's just like, oh, it's big words, so it's intellectual, whatever, right? But the thing about Eminem that made him special to millions of people, I think, was his ability to really connect with his audience.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? People shit all over Recovery, but I think Recovery is his best record.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
That was the first physical Eminem CD outside of Curtain Call, a censored version of Curtain Call that I got from Walmart.
I've listened to.
I agree with that representation. Yeah.
Like Curtain Call, Recovery, Refill. I mean, fucking Revival wasn't that great, but like, you know, those 3 albums right there, those are like some of his best work, if you ask me, because you had Toy Soldiers, you had Beautiful, you had what's that one song? Mockingbird.
Yeah, Mockingbird.
I'll tell you, there's a song that he's got that
was some Superman on it too.
That was all Eminem show.
Yeah.
But there's a song on the Eminem show called "Sing for the Moment." And I'm telling you, that's the track that I play when I'm like.
That was the Aerosmith sample, right?
Yeah, that's the one that like hits for me. I get chills.
I remember that video. I remember seeing him in a green do-rag.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But I remember Toy Soldiers used to slap all the time. I used to slap Toy Soldiers. So I guess I'm a bit of a liar. I didn't like some Eminem songs, you know what I mean? But I like the ones where he was like
contradicting yourself.
I like the ones where he was like being like real on it, you know, all that Slim Shady stuff. Like, yeah, he's got funny bars, you know what I mean? Like, I remember there's this one bar he's like, you could suck my dick while I'm puking. Like, that's a great bar, you know? But like,
it wasn't, that was good.
It wasn't shit I was into when I was a kid. So like, but like, you know, but that's the thing about like the Eminem clones is I feel like they don't portray that.
They don't understand like, yeah, he was lyrically incredible, but it's also what he's saying. It's not just all right, here's an epic beat and me spitting like crazy over it and being like
it's like everybody looked at Rap God and they're like, this is what I need to do for my shit, and it just came out corny. And like and the only reason why I didn't come out corny for M is because he's the one that started it. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
And like,
100%.
there's only like one M clone that I could think of that kind of touches on that. That'd be like NF. Mm-hmm. But NF's problem is that he uses the same fucking beat every time. Like,
see, I swear, I
can't tell one album from another.
I fucking agree with you because my girl loves NF and she always tells me, you should listen to this person. I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. Every time you put him on, I don't know if it's a different song or not because it all sounds the same to me.
Because he's always saying the same shit. I remember, but I did see a trailer recently where he was wearing white instead of black. I'm like, okay, this might be a different NF.
You're like, wait a minute.
But then come into fucking Kanye drums, and I'm like, nah, it's the same shit. It's always been, you know, like I'm not shitting on NF. You know what I mean? He's got a hit, you know, but like that's the closest any Eminem clone has gotten to actually like. Not
having
being
like a successful career and like
exactly because if you look at like Hobson or like if you look at I feel like Hobson is one of the biggest examples. Like his whole shit is pretty corny. You know what I mean? Like his newer shit, not so much, but definitely like his older shit. Like,
oh my god, Hobson back in the
trying
day,
to be Eminem so bad. Like,
but Sack My Pants was my shit.
Yeah, Sack My Pants was hard, but Illmind 5 was just so trash. I hated that song. Like,
which one was Illmind 5?
This is the one where he was like shitting on people for just living their fucking life.
I can't remember.
I'll tell you what. I had two different like points of my life with that song. There was when I heard it and I 100% agreed.
Yeah. And
then there's now when I listen to it and I'm like, well, I smoke weed now. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute.
He's talking about me. I don't like My whole thing is my whole philosophy.
I get what he was going for though. Yeah. I do 100% get like the at least like the direction he was trying to take the youth.
I've always led with like stoicism in mind. You know what I mean? Where it's like you can't change the world. You can just change your reaction with it. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, my whole deal is that I don't care what people do if they're happy and if it's not physically harming anybody, then it should be allowed. Let them do it. You know what I'm saying? So like for Hobson to come out and be like, you're a bum if you fucking smoke weed and you listen to fucking The Game and you know you do all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, bro, this shit's kind of whack. Honestly, like I don't like that when people complain about other people.
The biggest thing that I feel like kind of like the white rapper shtick has come out, or even just like the lyrical rapper shtick, is dissing on other rap. That's the one thing that I'm fucking tired of with that shit.
I remember when Gone came out with that fucking record with Mac Lethal and Futuristic and fucking who was that fat ginger dude? I forget his name.
Oh my god! It was like Death to Mumble Rap or something.
And I remember I saw that, and that was probably the worst fucking song I've ever heard. because he was like artillery in your auxiliary, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Is that the? Yeah, you're like
scrolling through a thesaurus. What the fuck is this?
And here's the funniest shit, right? And I don't mean to cut you off.
No,
I
you
just
good.
need
You
to get
good.
this out.
Get that
The
out.
funniest shit about these rappers that say this shit about like mumble rap and whatever, they're like, all of you sound the same, and none of you do anything creative to differentiate each other from who and who.
But then
and
that's
I was
all
like,
y'all
that's
doing.
all you do.
Damn
I was
right.
like, you all just ride M's dick like it's the only dick in the, like you're the only girl in the world, all right?
Yeah.
Like, bro, what the fuck is going on?
No, 100%.
The hypocrisy is crazy. all right?
Like I just don't understand where like you think you're gonna get as an artist if you're gonna constantly shit on other forms of art.
Exactly, and
Like-
I could get competition.
Absolutely,
I could
absolutely.
get
Being like, I'm
competition.
better than this person, I'm better than that.
Yeah.
But being like, oh, that shit is trash, and this is real hip hop, and this is what this needs to be. It's like that's why all the old heads got so much pushback in 2016 when Yachty came out, because they was all like, this is garbage, and this is what hip hop is supposed to be. It's like, bro, hip hop for different generations is going to be different no matter what, because it's going to be a
Absolutely.
self-expression of that generation. When Lil Yachty came out, that's what that generation was feeling. When NWA came out, that's what that generation was feeling. You know, so you got to understand it's a generational thing. And even now, like with Yeet coming out, like Yeet wasn't my favorite when I first listened to him. I'm like, this shit is trash. But I'm like, I'm not going to shit on it because I know that he's speaking for his generation right now, that he's going to be speaking for the kids that's listening to him.
Exactly.
And they relate to that. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. And that's what hip hop is just speaking your truth, really. Because
100%.
prior to hip hop, all we had was just a bunch of fucking record label executives in a writer's room trying to sell an album that the artist didn't even create. They're just a vocalist.
Exactly,
You know?
exactly. Well, it's like, it's also just on the level of like, okay, so you want to say that this certain style of hip hop, because it's slower bars, less bars, you know, on trap beats, you want to call that mumble rap. But then at the same time, when you're rapping so fast and lyrical, but you're not saying anything, isn't that just mumble rap in itself too?
Like, can you even give me a Busta Rhymes bar?
Preach, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, could you even give me a Busta Rhymes bar?
Like,
Probably not.
No, man, because one, he raps so goddamn fast. I don't really understand half the shit he's saying.
damn
And also,
fast.
I don't know what the fuck he's saying. You know
And it's
what I'm saying?
like,
and I feel like there's a place for it when you can get it off correctly. You know, a lot of the times when you're just going into it to try to be as technical as you possibly can be, then you're gonna lose a little bit of what you're saying because you're trying to crossword puzzle this shit.
Yeah. And like,
you're leading people through a maze that should not be a maze. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where like Joyner fucked up a lot, is because like he tried to like. I feel like if Joyner never came out with that Little Pump freestyle, because anybody who was a fan of Joyner knew what was going on. It wasn't a Little Pump diss, but anybody from the outside looking in looked at it as that, so they just sided Joyner with the old heads, and then he got a lot of pushback. You know what I'm saying? And then I think that's where he fucked up, is because he went on that, and he's already looked at as a technical rapper. You know what I mean? So like people are just gonna look at him as a corny person because him trying to bridge the gap, he was still kind of dissing. Little Pump, but it wasn't like a major diss where like he disagreed with it completely.
Right.
I just think he kind of like went about it the wrong way.
Well, like even look at how like J. Cole approached 1985.
I think the way
1985?
J. Cole approached it was perfect.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
He just was like, look, you riding trends, it's cool, do your thing, get your bag, but remember that shit don't stay.
Yeah, exactly.
That shit is not going to be there. Like I have basically I've like myself, like I have an account where all my money goes from my music. I haven't touched a single dime since I started this shit, and I probably won't, because as long as I got other means of making my money, there's no reason for me to go into that until I'm able to be like, all right, let's cash the fuck out now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think the way J. Cole did it was the best, honestly. Where he, instead of like shitting, because I think when you're shitting on the art form, that's when you get a lot of pushback. But when you start to like kind of really just like kick some game and be educational, excuse me. I mean, I remember that line, "Never stop touring." You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that was like one of the biggest lines to me at that moment, because I didn't know, like
That's how we
that
eat here in this rap game.
That wasn't just
That's
for
what money's made, dude.
That wasn't just for Pump and Smoke Burp. I think that was for like any rapper coming up.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So like when I heard that line, I was like, okay, touring money is where it's at then. You know what I mean? That's how they make money.
he's speaking it, bro.
Yeah, that was like real genuine game. So
It's basically
that's
giving
why
you
he didn't get any pushback, But like when it comes to the old heads shitting on like mumble rap and stuff, it's like you can make the arguments like they're not even mumbling, you can tell what they're saying, but it's like, bro, Future was coming up with y'all.
Yep.
Like, bro, Future was in the same XXL class as fucking Oh fuck, who was he with? I think he was with Logic and shit. He was with
Logic.
Yeah.
He was with Hobson was in that.
Yep.
Hobson was in
Machine Gun
that.
Kelly was in that when he was more lyrical.
Yeah. God, the downfall.
He was with
Schoolboy was in that, I think. No,
Schoolboy was in 2013.
Yeah.
he was Absol was in it, I think, that year.
It was Absol.
Travis
my
Scott
God.
was in that one.
So
I
you're
think.
you're gonna
that lineup though.
Yeah, so you're gonna
That's
sit
real.
here and
Yeah.
shit on
And
all
Iggy
these.
Azalea. Don't
Yeah,
forget him.
so you're gonna, but it's crazy because it's like you're gonna shit on these new rappers coming up that sound like Future, but you're not gonna shit on Future when he came up with the most lyrical cast that rap has seen in a long time.
Yep.
Like that's crazy to me, and I'm just starting to think that
Like-
you're just jealous.
100%, because like Future actually like was that wave beforehand, because like I remember when I saw Future on the Double XL, I remember seeing the freestyle and being like, what is this, but then literally not a
Yeah.
couple months later, all of a sudden I was hearing some of his music and I was like, I get it now.
Yeah,
I
like,
100% get it, because
That boy
like,
dropped March Madness and changed everything.
and that's also why the Double XL like freshman freestyle is kind of like falling off for me, because I feel like you can't get artists like that to come in and spit bars now. Like if you're gonna do the Double XL, you might as well either make sure that you got people who want to cipher, or you're restructuring it to fit this more melodic like sound that hip hop's
I
doing.
just remember 2017 or 2018 being just a complete fucking disaster because they only had 9 people and Trippie Redd didn't show up for one of the ciphers.
Yep.
God, what an
Yeah.
animal.
And Trippie
Oh,
was like,
no.
nah,
Trippie was
man.
like,
He's
I
like,
don't
I'm
do
not gonna rap for y'all. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah,
Like-
yeah.
He's like, I got other shit to do.
It was crazy. I feel like that's why M gets so much hate right now, is because he was definitely one of the older cats that was shitting on mumble rap, and I don't think anybody could deny that. You know what I mean? Like
Nah.
He really was, and I'll never understand why. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, for somebody that came up getting shit on himself, you know, so many times by so many other people, it's like, why would you, you know, project these same fucking things that happen to you onto these kids? You know what I'm saying? Like, I never understood it really. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like when you just start there, I feel like that's why he got all the pushback he did, because I feel like if he didn't come out talking crazy shit about all these new kids, he would still be like a lot of people's top 5, like without being shy about it.
Well,
You know
because
what
I mean, nobody's coming at Nas like that. You know,
Nobody.
nobody's coming at like these other lyrical artists from like that era.
Yeah.
You know, because they're still tapped in with what the generation is doing, and where like M definitely is tapped in with the generation. I feel like he's tapped in with the generation that he likes, and he's not understanding the generation that's like coming out of this melodic rap. And like, could you imagine if M kind of figured out like how to take these beats that are going now, and if he slowed down his flow and went back to that like Eminem show style on some of this new like production,
Or
that
even
shit
on
would go
like
crazy.
even
I mean,
on like
he'd have
music,
another back end of his career, bro. Like,
I mean, or even on like Music to Be Murdered By, you can kind of already tell that
Yes,
it's like going in
yes,
that
100%.
going in that direction. You know what I mean?
Like-
So like, it seems he's learned his lesson, but it's like sometimes it's a little too late for shit like that.
Yeah.
Bro, Music to Be Murdered By actually like a modern Eminem album that I've wanted is that album. Especially even like I think Side B was like fucking crazy to me.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that he does on that with the way, and that is where like I feel like Revival should have been in some of those projects.
Yeah, Revival was just a weird fucking album, man. I remember listening to Revival and I was like, is this really what you took 5 years to make? I was like,
What breaks my heart about it is like then you get to the end of the album and you realize what he was doing with like songs like Castle and A Rose and some of those where I was like, oh shit, like this is really hitting what I wanted it to hit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other tracks in there that kind of make it fall off that, but man, like
Yeah.
I see what he was doing, at least trying to close that chapter.
I
100%.
just really hated the leading single that he had with Beyonce. Because
I love Walk on Water. I'm not
you
even gonna
like it?
lie.
I'm not gonna shit on you. I'm not gonna shit on you for liking it. It just
I mean, I
surprised
thought
me.
it was okay.
Because it just surprised me. I just didn't like M's verse on it. I was like, he's coming out with a weird ass flow, man. It's weird. And then like, and I was like, well, the rest of the album probably be alright. And then like the album dropped, and then like.
They picked the wrong singles, I'll tell you that though. They
Yeah.
definitely did like,
and I feel like they picked the wrong songs to start with. You
But
know
then
what I mean?
dude came back with that Chloroseptic remix too, and oh my god, dude,
Yeah.
like that's that dog in him. That's that dog in him.
But when Kamikaze came out, I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Oh, yeah, Kamikaze.
And I was excited
Yeah.
because Joyner got that placement with M. Right, and I've been a fan of Joyner since before he was even called Joyner Lucas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been following him since he was going by Future Joyner.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So like, I remember his old fucking mixtapes, and he's always talked about working with M, and he's always put M in his top 5. And then I saw that shit with him and Joyner, and I was like,
No, yeah, I was actually keeping up with Joyner as well at the time too, and I knew like he was a big fan of him too. So when I saw
so
them
to
together,
finally,
I was like,
that was huge.
"Oh,
so to
it's
finally
gonna be
see him
great."
get that placement, I was like super excited for him. You know what I mean? So I was cool, but like the whole Kamikaze album just felt like, a really long tantrum to me, honestly. You know what I mean? I feel like when
That man had a lot to get off his
he
chest.
had a lot to get off his chest. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to shit on him too much because that's kind of what he's always done. You know what I mean? It's kind of like drop an album, and if it doesn't get the reception he likes,
like,
then he comes back on it and he's like, all right, let me show y'all that I can really do this.
it's been a minute. Like it's been since 2018 since he dropped Kamikaze, right? And I'm just looking through it, and I'm like, how many times did I go through this album, bro? I think I only went through it once. And I think I just kept listening to with him and Joyner Lucas, and that's about it. Everything else is kind of just.
Oh yeah, that was a great record, man.
Dude, the Ringer though, when he came out, oh my god,
No, I do remember the Ringer. Yeah, I was like, God.
Yeah, but
Well, and then he even addressed on the Ringer where he was like, I can see why people like Lil Yachty, but not me though. Like I get it. Like I get he was throwing a little bit of a shot, but he was at least being like,
No, yeah,
I get it.
It's like he was just like airing out like his frustration.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then I'm glad
And
he
I
did
get
that, and I'm glad he did that because Music to Be Murdered By is a great album. You know what I mean? It's a
That
good
one's
album,
crazy.
and I think he had a lot of good picks for that album too. You know what I mean? Like I like the fucking the Young M.A. verse. I like the Juice WRLD verse.
oh yeah.
So I think M is starting to like realize that he needs to evolve because if you look at older cats that have been around since the 90s, I mean shit, even the 80s, right? Like E40. You know, I'm always gonna follow E40, but that man is nothing short of adaptable. You know what I mean? Like my boy came up in the 90s and he's working with cats like his last album, Practice Makes Paper. He had all the He had the Migos on it. You know what I'm saying? He had Roddy Ricch on it before Roddy Ricch even came out with the box. He's been working with new cats every generation. You know what I'm saying? Like he looks at the new generation and he goes, okay, who's really
40 low-key tapped in for sure.
He's very tapped
really
in,
like-
yeah, and that's why he's been able to maintain his relevancy for so long. You know what I mean? And the same with Gucci Mane. You know,
Yeah.
Gucci's been around for a long fucking time too.
I mean, from what I saw, E40 just got like an auditorium named after him at a school. I can't remember.
Oh, really?
what it was.
That's fucking dope.
I don't know
He's
if you
been
saw
around
it.
for so fucking long. He deserves that
it.
shit,
Dude's
yeah.
been out.
E40.
Dude's been out for a minute. I can't remember what college it was, but I feel like he had an auditorium.
But like E40 and Gucci Mane to me are just like the two oldest cats that have been relevant for so long because of how much they've been able to adapt. You know what I mean? I mean, like Gucci Mane still comes out with hits, right? E40 still works with the newer cats. His hits aren't as big as Gucci Mane, but like he's still like relevant. You know what I mean? When you say E40, people aren't going to be like, oh, that's that rapper from the 90s.
Right,
They're going to be
right,
like,
right.
oh yeah, I heard this record like last year and it was tight.
They still be playing that shit in the club.
And maybe that's just because we grew up here and we're very close to the Bay.
That's true. That's true.
So, but like, I don't know how it is on the East Coast, but I could assume so that is similar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does I'm gonna put the question out there? Does the East Coast listen to E40 in the Bay Area like that still?
Yeah. Do you still listen to
Y'all
or
still
is it-
slapping that in the
or is it
club, or y'all
just
got
Wu
different
Tang and
shit?
Pop
yeah,
Smoke?
yeah, y'all comment that on the YouTube
on
channel real
YouTube.
quick because we want to know this shit.
So let's get back to you because we've been talking about rap too
No,
much.
you good. You go.
No, yeah, we
talk
just-
about hip hop all fucking day.
Yeah.
we just jumped into a whole Eminem
Yeah,
tangent.
I love talking about hip hop, man. So
No, it was an Eminem tangent.
Eminem. I could talk about Eminem for
We
days.
love you, Marshall.
Yeah, we love Marshall, dude.
I have
Straight
respect
Eminem
for you,
tangent.
Marshall. So you just dropped this new EP.
Yeah.
Are there any plans to drop more E EPs?
Definitely. Like I basically have like stockpiled music, and now I'm just being picky and choosy about what I'm putting out. Like a lot of the EP that just dropped, The Love It to Judge Me, I had the skeleton of it. And then like within 2 weeks before it came out, like that was when I made a majority of those songs. So like there were a bunch of songs that were the track list, and then I switched it completely, and it's just been doing a lot of that. So I feel like I'm gonna be like just dropping consistently because I'm just making shit consistently. Like I'm at a point now in my like creative process where like I'm just making songs at least like 2 or 3 times a week now.
I mean, it sounds like you're having fun doing it too, man. Because I mean, like, I feel like the last time we had you on, like, you know, there was some passion on it, but now you're kind of just on an easy groove where you're kind of everything's just flowing.
Yeah, like that's the one thing that's come out of it is like I like with my last project, Fast Life, like that one, like I really fuck with it, but I was definitely like trying to hit a niche with it where like now I'm like very just like I'm trying to have as much fun and do as weird shit on the mic as I possibly can. Like the flows that I'm going in with, like a lot of the times, like I don't write songs the way I actually like then present them in the track, if that makes sense. So then I'll be recording them and doing some like wacky things with my voice, and I'll be like, ooh, that sticks, or that makes it like emphasize more. So I've just been doing a lot of that and getting creative with it, because I just want to constantly just make shit that I like think is gonna sound dope live.
And I'm glad that you're doing this now, because if I'm be honest with you always, and you know that's one of the few things that irritated me about your career was the fact that you weren't dropping enough.
I know, bro.
Every time I saw you, right, and every time I saw you, yeah, go for it. Every time I saw you, I always said this shit to your chest. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know this. We've had this conversation multiple times, and I'm glad.
I feel like I've seen you say this to him many times.
And I'm glad to see you actually like doing it, bro, because like. You just grabbed a feature from a very large artist, and you're gonna need that fucking consistency.
Absolutely,
you're gonna need it now more than ever. Because if you were to drop this how you drop Martial Law, I don't think it would have worked out as well.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because if you drop Martial Law and then took a whole year off,
then there's no way to do that anymore.
Exactly.
You can't. Like every single time you put out a release, the way I've looked at it is it's gonna go up like this, and then it's gonna go down. But if you go up and then keep going up and up, eventually it starts leveling out. I've noticed like with streams and everything, the more consistent you drop, the more engagement you're getting and the more people find other shit. The whole reason Love It or Judge Me actually probably exists is because of this Westside Boogie track, was because I got this track in December and I knew that I wanted to drop it at some point in March or April.
Yeah.
And so my like goal was to then have a good catalog of music for everyone that will come from that feature that can go and listen to it.
This is straight perfect timing right now, because you already have a huge back catalog that these new Westside Boogie fans are going to be able to go in and look at, and they could pick and choose songs that they like, because you have a lot and you're a very diverse artist, but maintaining that consistency and that momentum of keep dropping is something that's extremely important, right? And that was another thing that I was talking to you out there about the EPs. I think, just dropping singles is really good for any artist that's like starting out. You know what I mean? So that you can get as many ideas as thrown at the wall as possible. But as soon as you have a single record hit over, a certain threshold, that's the one that you should be pursuing the most, right?
Yep. Going for that kind of
for that style. But you're a very diverse artist, and I would never expect you to only do one style for the rest of your life. I feel like that would be very draining for you.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean? So some that we were talking about out there, I think EPs are some of the best things that you can drop. Now, I hate making EPs, right? Because I like making full length albums. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
My first tape was 20 songs long, bro. You know what I mean? And that was the shit that's the shit that I like. I like long albums. So EPs,
Same, bro.
EPs for me are like, I don't like making them because I feel like I can't flesh them out too much. But but EPs are very good substitute for singles, because when it comes to a single, let's say you drop, song 1 and song 1 blows the fuck up, right?
Right.
All right. Now I'm going to drop song 2, but song 2 is doesn't sound the same as song 1, but it's something that I wanted to do. It's experimental. So you drop song 2. Song 2 doesn't get as much attention because you're going to get a lot of fans off of song 1, but a lot of those fans are just fans of song 1. They're not fans of you. And you want to convert these people to being fans of you. And this is a conversation that I've had with my friend and Guided as well, is that when it comes to diverse artists, the biggest thing that you want to do is get people to become fans of you, right?
Right.
Like when you look at Russ, you know what I mean? He's a very diverse artist, but you see a lot of his songs are, some don't got as many streams as others, which is, how it goes, right? People are going to listen to the hits. But the EPs, if you drop just singles, people are going to fall off and they're going to be like, oh, well, he's not really dropping this song anymore, but I just like this song, whatever. And that's just going to get deeper into their playlist, and you're going to drop off in numbers. But if you drop EPs, right, and you have 5 songs, right, and let's say one EP has song 1 on there, that EP already has a bunch of streams, and people are going to look at the EP, they're going to listen to the other tracks. They're like, I kind of like this one. Oh, maybe I don't like this one too much. They're still going to listen to it. They're still going to get streams. Now you drop EP number 2. EP number 2 has a song 1 type beat on it. You know what I mean? It's the same as song 1. People are going to listen to that. They're going to be like, oh, this is hard. This is just like that one record he put out last month or last year or whatever. Let me check out these other songs. They check them out. Oh, I like this one a little bit. Oh, maybe I don't like this. And it's still getting streams.
Yeah, you're basically not being like, all right, so here's a dish that you liked.
Yeah.
Now here's something that I'm going to put out there that I think I like, that you'll like.
Yeah.
But I have to convince you to like it because it's nothing like Dish 1.
Yeah, because it's exactly like Dish 1, right? It's like you got to... Song 1 is always going to be your bread and butter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to fucking... I'm not going to fucking Olive Garden for some random shit. I want the breadsticks. All right. So when I go to
damn
Olive for some
breadsticks.
fucking breadsticks,
Talking about
and
a
they
cuisine now.
listen. If I go to
Yeah, we're
Olive,
talking about food now.
no, it's
Food
in
analogies.
relation to food,
First
right?
M&M,
Because
then food.
let's say each EP is a dish of food, right? And just how you're saying, I think dish one, you like dish one, you like dish two. Let's say each EP is one dish, but every dish is going to have that bread and butter with it, so that just in case they don't like the steak and fucking asparagus, they're still going to have their breadsticks that they fuck with. You know what I'm saying?
You at least get your breadsticks every time.
At least get your
you can't-
breadsticks every time.
Yeah, before you wait for the main course, you always get the breadsticks.
Yeah, and it's
Exactly.
like what I was telling you about, like having like a stack of cups. Like if you got a stack of red Solo cups and you have the one cup at the top. If you're constantly filling that cup, it'll eventually trickle over into the other cups. So
Exactly.
your stuff at the bottom that's not getting anything, as long as that one at the top is still bringing shit in, then the ones at the bottom are going to get filled. Maybe not as much as the one at the top, but
And
it all
another thing
trickles
too,
down.
if you're consistent with dropping your breadsticks on these EPs, people are gonna slap that shit more, and you're gonna be at the top of their playlist again, and eventually they're not just gonna be just fans of that one song. They're gonna
They're
be
listening to
fans
everything.
of you. You know what I
Yup.
mean?
Yup.
And they're like, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna check this album out. They're gonna slap it while they're playing a video game, and they'll probably forget to turn it off after and just be on repeat, and all of a sudden they fell in love with the album. That's how I listen to albums.
Right,
You know?
exactly.
Everybody's different. But I'm just saying, I think EPs for cats at our level right now, some people who have a solid catalog and somebody who just got a big feature or somebody who just had a big single, dropping EPs is most important, right? If you just starting out in rap, drop singles, right? Fuck you dropping an EP for, you don't even know what your bread and butter is. You know what I mean? Start throwing shit at the wall and figure out what your breadsticks are.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
then start dropping the EPs. I think EPs is the next way to go. You know what I mean? I think the weekly shit that Russ did, I think he really just got lucky with that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Because every song was different. Like it took him a long time to blow up for a reason. My boy was dropping different shit every time.
Yeah, because then all of a sudden they tap in with that song. They don't like that song that much, but then a couple months later,
Yeah.
they all of a sudden got another song that they like, and they're playing that one 5 times, and then this one pops up in their streaming, rotation and shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it
yeah.
just-
Because at some point something's gonna stick, right? You
Something's gonna stick
You just
at
keep
some
hitting
point.
the stick, and it's gonna stick to.
And it's
Yeah.
about hitting that niche. That's why, like I was telling you about the Westside Boogie song. Like, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you're gonna do something hard." Like I was telling my people in the inner circle that were like, "This is happening," and they were like, "You're gonna send them a hard track," and I was like, "I could, but like, people really resonate." Like people have been resonating with me with more of my personal stuff lately. Like a lot of like "Ignorance is Bliss," that song that I did with
Yeah.
Nesta. People were really liking that one with some of the shit that I said on that, and that actually almost was a song I sent to Boogie.
Oh, yeah.
I told Nesta he could be on it, and then all of a sudden this Boogie thing came up, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that in Nesta.
can't rip
Like
Nesta
I was
off.
like,
Yeah, I
I
need to
could
come
do
up with
another
something
one.
I think Nesta would have understood though.
Yeah.
I think
no,
it would have,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like I felt like I was like, no, that song had the intentions of having Nesta on it when I wrote it, and I wanted to make sure I followed through with that, and I'm glad I did because now we have this track all good with Boogie, and I
mean,
feel like
I mean, the track with Boogie's fantastic,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah,
do
that's
love
great.
the one with you and Nesta as well. So I mean, I think it was meant to be what it's supposed to be.
And the coolest part about that is that like a lot of the times I'm looking for beats and buying from producers that I met online, but like when it came to this Westside Boogie song, it was really dope because I actually got a beat from Bozzy.
Shout
This
out
is
to
the
Bozzy.
this is the first beat that I like got from Bozzy outside of a track that Bozzy and I did, and I just thought it was really cool because like if I was gonna have somebody of this like caliber on a song, I would want the production or somebody who was on that to be somebody like in my circle, somebody who actually like I know fucks with me and actually has my back.
You would want to make sure that you're the only one with that beat too. You know?
Exactly. That you want exclusivity and you want to be able to like have something that resonates, and so I'm really excited that Bozzy was a part of that. And like I don't know where it's at right now, but we are trying to at least get like a video potentially shot. And because Bozzy
yeah.
does his videography, I paid for his flight to come down to LA with me. I'm at least going to support Boogie at his show at the Novo on March 16th. It's like one of his biggest shows, and just as a fan, I was gonna go. So now it's just like really exciting because we may potentially either like if we don't make a video out of it, that's cool. Either way, I hope at some point
You
I
should
get
at
to,
least
like,
link with that fool.
I hope at least I could probably like maybe get to say what up to
Yeah,
bro.
even just chat
like,
with him and just like just chop it
Say,
up.
hey, we just made a record together. What's
Yeah.
good?
Yeah, and that was what's cool is like at least like he had shot me a message when I told him I was trying to come down, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll put you on the list at least," and I was like, "That's really cool."
That's,
like,
I mean, it's dope that you're flying Bozzy out too, because again, like it was like the track that he gave you,
Yeah,
and you're having
no,
him
like-
film it too, and I think it's pretty dope.
well, because I was like even thinking about it, I was like, I know I got people in LA, so if we were to make this video happen, like, do I want to have somebody that isn't necessarily connected to the track like that, or Bozzy does videography. There's no reason why not to like.
And because he knows the track, like, I think he'd have a better vision for it. Anyway. So
like he absolutely would like
so
know
good.
what to do with it. I'm so excited to see like if we're able to make that happen, then it's on its way, and y'all they might already know that it's on its way, or if not, at least like it's an experience where like Bozzy and I can still fly down to LA and just do some shit down in LA for the hell of it, and maybe get to link up with Boogie. That's the way I look at it, and that's how I'm kind of approaching it.
That's fucking dope, dude. That sounds like.
Oh yeah, this is huge for you, man. Like I'm for real, like really happy for you.
Legit,
you know what I mean, bro?
Legit
like,
happy for you, bro.
That's one of the coolest things to ever to happen to this city. You know what I mean? Like, aside from me, but like, no, I'm kidding. No, this is easily one of the coolest things that ever happened in the city. I don't think anybody's ever landed a placement like that, as far as I know. So yeah, bro, I'm really happy for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job, ZP Ratik on wax.
Yeah, man, you're a fucking
Appreciate
gangster,
it.
bro. Good
So,
shit.
but now, as I was telling you outside, you got to watch out for those just in case friends.
Oh, absolutely.
Big time, baby. You know what I mean?
I know a lot of people who are gonna probably just even, and that's the thing too, is it's like it's not what it looks like. Even though it's dope, it's not what it looks like. I'm not on yet or anything like that. But all you know, like the perception of people sometimes they're just gonna look at it and be like, all right, now he's on. I gotta start like go and get my fucking piece or some shit.
Yeah,
like,
no, I mean, again, it's all like by chance and by your constant, like, I wouldn't say aggressive trying to get to him, but you're just like, you were just being yourself, and you were just sending him messages, being consistent, like on like supporting him.
Well, it was hilarious
happened.
too, because like he had posted the Tiny Desk, and I had posted it on my story and added him, and just was like sharing it to just share it. And I remember turning to my homie, and I was like, dude, he just saw my story. Like, I was hyped to see just the blue check mark in my fucking Instagram story. Like, oh my God, Boogie saw my story. He's like, right there, you know, like
yeah, she looked at it.
and then like 2 weeks later, like what the circumstances was, you would have been fucking lying to me if you told me that shit. I would have been like, get the fuck out of here. Don't even get my hopes up. Like,
and what's great about it is that you've been doing this for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like,
it was a good opportunity.
Yeah,
it's about time you started work, and it's about time you started working with people that weren't from Reno.
What's hilarious too, bro, when it happened too, you were the person who was always like, you need to work with somebody outside of Reno. You need to work with somebody outside of Reno. When I saw that, I was like, okay, I work with somebody outside of Reno. I was like, I did it. That's right.
You've already got John Connor and
Lex Bratcher too.
Lex Bratcher,
shout out Lex Bratcher.
Yeah,
she
so
is a dope ass MC. If you don't know who she is, you need to tap in. I'm just throwing that out there. She's incredible.
So you've already been taking that advice, but I'm like, oh, now he's getting serious. I'm like, oh, Westside Boogie,
bro. I wouldn't have even thought. Like I said, even when I sent him the DM, it was just to say thanks for being an inspiration, and I'm happy for you. And
shit's
then
about to get
came back that way.
Shit's you're about to change your life, man. How's it feel?
Yeah,
I mean, hopefully
you're a few weeks away from changing your life.
I mean, it seems like there's like a certain vibe like coming your way, man, and I think again it's well deserved. Like,
I'm very happy for you.
It's fantastic to see.
I'm hoping so. All I can hope out of this is like the thing is, I already, like, in my opinion, got everything I could have wanted out of it. Mm-hmm. I have one of my favorite artists on one of my songs. If from that point this song gets 0 fucking streams, I'm happy, because at least look what I did.
You're like, I still did it.
I did it. Like that's so cool to me, man. Like that's just like when I chills when all of a sudden when he said all good into the hook, like, but shit, it's all good. Like when he went into that into the hook, I was like, nah, like nah, bro.
Listen, man, all I'm saying,
like literally when he sent you the track, you were just listening to it over and over, like, oh my God, I can't believe
that.
Oh yeah, I bet my boy was probably sleeping slapping that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to sleep.
Dude,
this shit.
I listened to it and I just was like, oh my God, I still can't believe it. Like when I listen to it and I play it for some of my homies, that I'm like, nah, this is just somebody we listened to like religiously for the last like 5 years, but now like they're on a song with us. Like,
exactly. Oh my God, dude, that's so
Hey
dope.
man, all I'm saying is this, bro. Your life is about to get a hell of a lot more busy. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're about to have a lot of eyes on you. You know, you're gonna have Boogie's people looking at you. You're probably gonna have some Eminem's people looking at you. You're gonna have a lot of people. You got your foot in the door, bro.
Like your foot is like stuck in that door.
It's stuck in that bitch, and you're not.
I broke my toe so many times trying to jam that shit in there too. And I'll tell you what,
it's like a busted foot that's
so
in a
you
lot
about to
of
sit
mayhem.
there,
Oh, God, yeah.
sit there with that broken toe and that fucking door, and do not let go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And all I'm saying is this: Do not neglect your cover artist.
Best believe.
You know what?
I don't care. I don't care if you. I don't care if you. I don't care. Listen, I don't care if he connects me with these people. I don't care if he never says my name. Just let me do the covers. All right.
Yeah, you know,
I'll do the covers.
Best believe.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, don't forget your friends and you make it big. You know.
Hey, man, fuck your friends. Forget those people. You don't need them.
Man, I could.
They didn't produce those records.
That's true.
They
True
didn't
that.
produce those records. You know.
That's a true fact.
No, but I appreciate you guys because like it's something really cool, and like I haven't really got to share it with people. I've been as like isolated in my life as I've felt, you know, like I moved out of like my homie's crib and I've just been like by myself a lot, and like it's just cool to like get like see people's reaction to it and like see like how like even just with Love It or Judge Me too, see that people are really receptive to it because I've like only had my own opinions to go off of for months, for a long time, you know?
So that's actually a great segue because I wanted to talk to you about on some life shit. So you seem like you're a little bit in more of like a healthier spot right now.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way, or is it?
So in the track, All Good, I mentioned how like I woke up in an ambulance. So over the last summer, like I went through a really hard time in my life, and like I like pretty much like drank myself to death, and like.
Something casual.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Something
like, and
casual.
it wasn't the first time it had happened to me. You know, like the you know paramedics are showing up at my house and shit like that. And I realized that I was like I need to like get in a better mindset. You know, and like ever since then it was like a real wake up call to try to like just make sure I focused on my health and I was really happy with everything in my life and making sure that like, you know, like even if I'm not, that's why the song All Good kind of exists too, because it's like, even if the day's bad, like, man, it could be so much fucking worse. Like it could be so much worse, and everything that you've gone through has made you so much stronger because you're not like letting it get to you, and you're all good about it. Like you just know that it's like something that's building you rather than taking you down.
Yeah. So you had like a pretty bad substance abuse problem?
Not necessarily that. It's more of like I just smoke weed, but then as soon as I want to get fucked up, I put myself down. I go way overboard. I was mixing like cough syrup with shit and like
God damn.
My boy was living like a rapper.
I had like it sounds like a rapper. Like,
and I don't normally do that, but I had just acquired some because I was like hella like sick, and like I had a bunch left, and like I had drank like half a bottle of Crown Royal to myself, mixing it with that shit, and that's all of a sudden I woke up the next morning pretty much.
God damn.
And like I was like. Yeah, it was just a bad thing, and like, and again, like I don't look at that and go like, okay, so now I have to, like, this is my lifestyle now. Now it was like, all right, get the fuck up, like don't do that again, like get your life better because.
So did you quit drinking or?
Yeah, like I still have drank from time to time, but in all honesty, like I really like the first time after that actually to drink, I took a shot or two to make All Good. Yeah. And I like looked at it as like a full circle kind of thing to just be like, all right, last time I drank, and it was the same liquor that I was drinking that night, but I drank a little bit just to remind myself like where I could have been,
right? Like,
because this was only a few months after that. Like if you would have told me like, I wouldn't have done that to myself. I wouldn't have put myself in that situation, but because like, life happens, and so I don't know. It was that was the last time I took a drink. Actually, was. Then just I made All Good, took a couple shots to get in this booth, and then I haven't drank since. Like I drink like seltzer sometimes.
Yeah.
But
So with you said you've been more alone because you moved out of your homeboy's house. With the self isolation, is that more purposeful, or is it just like
a little bit of both? It's like. I don't know, like a lot of my homies are antisocial and I'm antisocial, and like sometimes if I'm not invited to something, you'll never see me, kind of thing. Like,
I feel that.
So I'm just like I constantly like feel like, all right, I'll blink and I'll be like, oh, it's been like a month or two since I've seen this person or talked to this person, or even like like it's kind of like. I've felt disconnected, but at the same time, really like pursuing just like my self-interest and just really trying to make sure that like I'm good.
No, and I think that's that's like one of the beneficial things that comes out of like your like a self-isolation kind of thing, like not being around anybody that like you kind of just start to focus more on yourself.
Yeah,
like, instead
absolutely.
of just constantly being like drawn out to like other things that probably you don't even care about. You know what I'm saying? You're only there just to make
have that time to meditate and really assess what it is that you care about. You know.
Well, and since that, because it was like in July, since then, and since I moved, I've like made the most music I've ever made in my life.
Yeah, I was about to get to that. I feel like at some point, and correct me if I'm wrong, you know, but I feel like at some point you ask yourself, am I a rapper or am I a guy who raps?
Exactly.
And it seems like you chose, I'm a rapper. And that's when you started going hard in the paint. And I'm really proud of you, and I'm really happy that you know, that you've chose the route that you go. Because, you know, if you're a guy who just raps, but you think you're a rapper, I feel like shit could go sideways for you real quick, because you'll just walk around with a certain attitude about things that you shouldn't really be carrying with, you know. It's like, but all I'm saying is this, bro. Good job on the EP. Good job with the Westside Boogie feature. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you, bro.
You are coming up on time. So, any last words? Any game that you want to kick to the young people?
Just focus on you. Do what makes you happy. Everything in life, like, is gonna fucking come and slap you. But as long as at the end of the day you make sure you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your loved ones, and you doing good, that's all you can do.
That's all you're doing.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say that question you asked before we press play.
Oh shit!
I need you to ask that one more time.
What question?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, I do have one more question.
Yeah. Give me that 10 minutes.
If you could kill off any rapper to bring back a dead one, which one would it be?
I feel like kill off is such a hard term.
You got it.
Like
trade,
if I could
man.
trade
This is Full Metal
the
Alchemist
heavens for a rapper,
equivalent exchange. You know.
I'd definitely be grabbing like either Nipsey Hussle or Juice WRLD for sure. And man, who are we trading?
It's such an evil question to ask.
I know there's evil.
I mean, like you can like easily say someone like 6ix9ine, but at the same time, like that he's just a troll. Like he ain't like that. Like I ain't like you know what I'm saying. Like I can't put that evil on anybody. But I'll tell you what, there's a rapper out there probably somewhere slapping his baby mom, and I hope he dies for it. How about that? That's the one that needs to go.
That's the one he's trading in.
Listen, man,
give me Juice WRLD back.
I will take anybody off the map. I will take anybody off the map for Pop Smoke. All right,
for Pop Smoke.
Okay. Anybody except for Ice Spice, because I feel like, hey, I would take off E40. Man.
Oh wow, dude!
I would even take off Schoolboy Q.
Damn. Huh?
And you know how I feel.
Schoolboy Q. What's your shirt say? What's your shirt say?
Schoolboy Q is my all-time favorite rapper.
Damn.
He's wearing your shirt.
But he had his time, all right? He had his time. Listen,
nah. Right, you just mad he picked up golf, bro. You just mad he out here living his best life. You see on the PGA Tour, damn it.
You see his ass with a 9-iron.
I take it back. I would have taken out Schoolboy Q, but I definitely would trade anybody else, all right? Except for Ice Spice and Schoolboy Q, because I feel like if Pop was alive when Ice Spice, I feel like if Pop was alive right now was Ice Spice, I feel like they would have took over the fucking
New
world,
York
bro.
scene.
Yeah,
that shit would have went fucking nuts.
Crazy.
Yeah, Pop
should have been like, you thought
Pop was on the rise too before he passed.
Yeah,
he was just coming.
I know.
Like who? Give me your 3 top features you'd want.
Top features I'd want.
Yeah,
Schoolboy Q.
Okay,
number 1. I feel like me and him would go fucking nuts on the track.
Oh, dude, yeah, I would love to see that shit.
Fuck, bro.
Don't you want to? What's his name? Oh my god, what the fuck is his name? God, I'm forgetting his name right now. Macklemore. No, not Macklemore.
Macklemore. I'm about to kill you.
No. Who the fuck is it? Huh? Is it G-Eazy? Yeah, thank you.
Nah, not G-Eazy.
G-Eazy?
I fuck with G-Eazy.
Yeah,
you know, and I probably could get a feature from him if I wanted to.
Sorry, excuse me, Macklemore. No.
G-Eazy's dope.
No, I could get. I could probably. I kind of want to try to get a feature from G-Eazy because I know I could. Like I'm connected with the right people.
Dope.
You know, but I just know that shit's gonna cost a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My boy's gonna be like,
money?
I need $200,000. I'd be like, listen, guy, I got $5.
How you feel about payment plans?
How do you feel about a line of credit?
I'm sure that's what Jimmy's gonna throw. Like, yo, how about we stop in a payment plan and I'm gonna retire.
Yeah, I get you.
Schoolboy Q number 1, Isaiah Rashad number 2.
Okay,
I love Isaiah Rashad. And for my third one, bro, Fuck, bro. I don't even know. Probably like E40.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah,
I can see that. I can see
Probably,
that.
probably E40 because I just gotta pay respects. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
you
I was
know,
about to say, if you didn't have E40 on there, I'd be shook.
This is a man that raised me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's basically your father.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like, what?
That is your daddy.
Yeah, so definitely,
He's
but
your Vader to your,
yeah,
like...
Schoolboy and Isaiah Rashad, definitely, bro. I'm a big fan of both of them. You know, anybody that's on TD is going fucking nuts.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like
Ray Vaughn's crazy lately. Ray Vaughn goes crazy.
Zakari's going stupid. That new Absol album is fucking slapping. You know what? No, I take back E40. I would get fucking. I take back E40. I think I'd get a Westside Gun.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Westside Gun. Yeah.
What about you, ZP? Obviously, we got one on you, but
What was the one?
Three, and you can't say Westside Boogie.
Yeah,
you already got
Westside
it.
Boogie. Okay,
You
so
already
My
got it.
top three would have been like Westside Boogie on there, so we're gonna take him off.
That's why I said we got two.
I'd want to collab easily. It'd probably obviously M.
Yeah.
JID.
Okay.
And then the third one could be a lot. Like, there's a lot that, like...
He's got a whole list.
Yeah, there'd be a lot that, like...
The third one is everybody else.
Basically, like, you could put Tech 9 there. You could put Logic there. You could put Joyner Lucas there. You could put Corday there.
I think you could get Tech 9. I think you could.
Yeah, like, Tech 9 would be crazy. Tech 9 actually responded to one of my posts.
I can see
Not one of my posts, but one of my comments. I was like, yo, Tech 9 responded to my fucking post.
Tech 9 seems like the kind of guy who's down to work with a lot of people.
Yeah, I was going to say, like...
The thing is too, if I got on with Tech 9, the funniest thing is I don't know if I'd even want to do the chopper flow on it. I would want to switch because you would expect that. You would expect that, and I think it would be something different to maybe like switch it up on that.
No, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree with you. I could totally see Tech 9.
All I'm saying is this: if you get a Tech 9 feature, just open up that third verse for your boy real quick. Let's see
let
if
Jimbo slide in.
let's see if Reno's local mumble rapper could do a chopper flow. You know?
I mean, foot to the gas, put the brake pads on it.
I mean, I was about to say, I think my verse on 40 hours is like
40 hours goes crazy.
That's like one of the best verses I've ever done. I'm not even gonna lie.
I love that. That song's on my
track
fucking
goes
playlist.
so
that
hard,
track,
bro.
Yeah,
I mean, again, when you go on, you just hit that shit.
Yeah,
like, God, what
people
the
hit
fuck,
me
bro?
up. People hit me up. They're like, I didn't know you could rap like this. You should rap like this more often. I was like, bitch, it took me 2 days to write that verse.
That's a lot of work. You're like, that's a lot of work.
I was like, that's too much work for me. Or I'd rather do my GTAs and call it a day. All right.
Oh, you know that third one is Childish Gambino.
Ooh, yeah.
Damn.
So if I could collab with any three artists, my top would be Eminem, JID, and who? Childish Gambino.
I feel like that was just
Yeah. So my top three artists to collab with would be Eminem, JID, Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
Those would be the top three, like on my bucket list for sure.
What about Childish Gambino that makes him so special to you?
Oh, everything.
There's so many. I don't even know what else to tell you.
Because you could go the Redbone style of Gambino that is just like, what the fuck? And then you go to like something like 3005, which would be a great track to like collab on. Or you could go like Sweatpants.
Or like because of the internet. Like
dude, that whole Because of the Internet actually like really changed me as an artist too, because like listening to that, like his song Flight of the Navigator, probably one of my like top songs of all time. Play that shit at my funeral. Like that shit is like the one.
Yeah.
For me.
And I think the artist that changed me as an artist is Schoolboy. Because here's the thing, when Schoolboy was popping off in like 2015, 2014, 2016, Oxymoron was hard.
Bank.
Oh yeah, Oxymoron was stupid hard, and I liked it. It wasn't my favorite though because I was like a YG fan. You know what I mean?
I get you.
So I was slapping more YG. I didn't really get into Schoolboy until like late 2017 when I was listening to his Crash Talk album, or not Crash Talk, Blank Face LP. Face. I remember
I got to do all the others.
Yeah, when I was listening, bro, that EP, that LP, that I think Blank Face is the best rap album of all time. That shit is so good.
It's
You got
really fucking good.
You got
dude.
Tookie Nose 2 on that shit. You got fucking Big Body on that shit. Like Tyler the Creator's like producing the fucking record with Dog Pound. You got fucking Ride Out with Vince Staples, one of the hardest gangster songs I ever heard in my life. And I love that album, right? But when I started rapping, I was rapping more like Joyner was. Because I was looking up to Joyner and I didn't want to bite 40 style because his shit is just so specific. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was trying to rap like Joyner, and then like at some point when I was making Money Talks, I like revisited Schoolboy shit, and I was like, I was fucking with Schoolboy heavy back in the day. So I started listening to him again, And then I was listening to Blank Face. I was like, bro, this is my favorite rapper of all time right now. I was like, bro, this shit is so hard. Oxymoron's crazy as fuck. And then, like, you know, we're not even going to talk about setbacks and habits of contradictions. You know what I'm saying? Like, Oxy music was one of my favorite songs growing up. You know, I mean, like, when I was in high school and shit, he's like, you know, so, like, that fool really changed the way I did music. And it was because of Schoolboy that I made songs like Swivel and Clockwork that I made. And then, Swivel's like one of my favorite songs I ever made in my entire life, and I don't think I'll ever make a song better than that. And then when I listened to Isaiah Rashad, he changed me too, because it was because of Zay that I made a song like Tombstone, which I definitely bit the shit out of his flow on the hook of that. But that verse that I spit on Tombstone, probably my best verse I ever writ for my own songs. You know what I mean? Because on my features, I feel like I go crazy, but on my own shit, I just kind of sit back and do whatever.
And you just hit the feature. Dude.
Yeah,
it's different when you get on a feature track, because once you hit that feature, you like there's just a certain expectation. To be
Exactly.
Yeah, like with the person who's asking for that feature, you know, you got to put something on. More than likely, the person who's asking for the feature is going to be laid back and let you just hit it. Yeah, and that's like, you know, I know there's some people that you don't want to like be on the same level, but some people just like let the feature just hit it.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like fucking, I love featuring on records. You know what I mean? Because it gives me a chance to like fucking like challenge myself and actually make something solid. You know, because I don't think I'll never try to send out a bad feature. If you don't fuck with it, let me know. I'll say you're wrong, but I'll try again.
I'll tell you you're wrong.
Like, I'll tell you wrong, but I'll do one more. Just
but like on Tombstone, I was snapping on that shit, and it was because of Isaiah Rashad, and it was because of Schoolboy Q. So I owe a lot to those two people, and I'm a huge fan of Westside Gun, but I can never buy this flow like that. But that boy's flow is so fucking weird.
I love Westside Gun's flow. Bro.
I love his flow. I love his flow because he'll say the most like regular shit. And then in the back, boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
I took my dog for a walk. Boom, 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 boom.
Shit is crazy. I love it. Like, have you seen the memes and shit?
Yeah.
Walk up in the spot to the kitty bed, pet his kitty, yeah, boom, 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 boom. I love Westside Gun. I love Griselda. Griselda's as hard as hell.
Yeah, Westside Gun's fun, man.
J. Cole. Fuck.
Average.
I know. You got to like rearrange the list. Fuck.
I know.
It be a top 5.
It can't just be 3. It's got to be 5. You know what I mean? It's got to be 5. So you got.
So my top 5 I'd want to collab with would be Eminem, J.I.D., Childish Gambino, J. Cole, and then obviously we'll just throw Kendrick on there. Because I mean, come on.
There you go.
King Kunta.
Clean.
King Kunta.
Yeah, my previous 3, but E40 and I don't even know. Maybe Drake. Drake would be cool.
So there's your top 5. You
Get
had
that Drake feature.
I just get the Drake feature one time, you know.
Yeah.
Nah, The Weeknd. Nah, I got myself fucked up.
I'm about to say like you love The Weeknd.
Oh yeah.
All right, now we got to make it 10.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna extend it to 7.
And let me do 40 Dirty one more time. Let me take him off. Let me put Belly on there too.
Oh my god.
Oh, you know who Belly is?
Yeah, I know Belly.
Oh, one of the hardest rappers on EXO, and I'm mad that people like Nav more.
God damn, you're just doing E40.
Nav is trash compared to fucking Belly, all right?
Go crazy.
Bro, that fool said, I put a bridge over my pool. That's for all the ones I burned.
Oh my god.
Why? Who does he think he is?
Damn.
Oh my god. Another fucking intro, but we are, of course, out of time.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Yeah.
That was the Blueprint Podcast, everybody.
Podcast.
ZP Ratik, go stream. Hater or judge me, go stream.
Love it or judge me. go stream Love It or Judge Me. Go stream All Good featuring Westside Boogie. That shit's out now. ZP Ratik, The Blueprint, JK The Visual, Jimmy Teflon.
Blueprint out.
Oh, baby, boo, 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 boo.
It's all good even if the day is not great, cause I'ma bounce back, I ain't gonna just stand and wait. It's all good even if the shit didn't go my way, cause I'ma get that, I don't care what it's gonna take. It's all good even if the day is not great, cause I'ma bounce back, I ain't gonna just stand and wait. It's all good even if the shit didn't go my way, cause I'ma get that, I don't care what it's gonna take. If they doubt me then they doubt me now, and I know shit won't change. The only person under my skin is me, and I could really hate this place. I allow them in, now my mind is crowded with things I can't change. Things gonna get way worse if everybody else gonna get a say on the way I live. But I'm waking up in an ambulance like what the fuck just happened, shit. Family thinking suicide attempt, I try to convince them an accident. Self-medicated, I let it slip. My liver screaming, yeah you fucking did. What's the deeper meaning when I'm lucky to live?
Wish I could tell you I'm sober since. Coasting on course, but I'm over shit. Show no remorse, but I'm dope as it gets. My parents divorced, I adopted in. Middle child, no love for him. Locked out, I was only 10. Teaching myself how to cope with this shit. Damn. I mean, I wouldn't tell you I'ma go for it. I'm cold as Minnesota when the winter hits, but I'm high on the mic like a nurse is. Cold-blooded as a motherfucking serpent is, but work with a purpose, I'm just diving in. Nothing is certain, I'm just trying to live. Good days, bad days, it is what it is.
It's all good even if the day is not great, cause I'ma bounce back, I ain't gonna just stand and wait. It's all good even if the shit didn't go my way, cause I'ma get that, I don't care what it's gonna take. It's all good even if the day is not great, cause I'ma bounce back, I ain't gonna just stand and wait. It's all good even if the shit didn't go my way, cause I'ma get that, I don't care what it's gonna take.
Yo, if my kids see that I'm falling in the streets, tell him daddy gave his all for his beliefs. Place your feet up on my shoulders, cause I know it's shit your arms could never reach. I'll be a speech when it get hard for you to speak. I've been tossing in my sleep, shit, I wish Tone was still alive. Hard for me to post them, shit, I know I'm supposed to slide. Went in closure with my granny, but that's selfish, cause I know that she was tired. Smell of death always open up my eyes. Other night, my shorty cried and told me, please, can you start making it make sense? Why your lessons gotta come at my expense? It's the fact that you aware, and that ain't fair, and that's the part that get me pissed. But honestly, she talking to a brick, she talking to a... Come entertain me. Tell me how you gon' change me. Tell me why I can't trust and think all these bitches is janky. Tell me why I'm so angry. Tell me why you gon' blame me instead of trying to come save me. That's brazy, but shit, it's all good.
It's all good even if the day is not great, cause I'ma bounce back, I ain't gonna just stand and wait. It's all good even if the shit didn't go my way, cause I'ma get that, I don't care what it's gonna take. It's all good even if the day is not great, cause I'ma bounce back, I ain't gonna just stand and wait. It's all good even if the shit didn't go my way, cause I'ma get that, I don't care what it's gonna take.